This is a walkthrough of the Genealogy Center site because we did this when we first launched our site earlier this fall, sort of in the summer, fall time. And there's been several changes. And so we wanted to help you be able to continue navigating the site and to be able to show you these improvements that have been made and to let you know of some of the new ways that you can discover information through the Genealogy Center site. First thing I have to tell you is please, please, please ignore several things on our site. I know it's shocking that I'm telling you this, but at the very top, you'll notice the address has like sort of a wonky address. And I keep telling you it's genealogycenter.org. Helps if I spelled. So genealogycenter.org is actually the address for the site. And when you go there, you do wind up on this page. And so when you are here on the Genealogy Center page, the next thing I want you to ignore is this button up here that says login. I want you to ignore that. That makes people very uncomfortable when they see it because we usually get emails and phone calls from people saying, wait, I don't have a login. I don't have a card. Well, as much as we'd love for you to be Allen County residents, we understand not all of you can be Allen County residents to have a library card here. And so that login is for people who actually have a library card and need to look at their library card account. What I am showing you on the site today, you aren't going to need that, so don't worry about it. So one of the first things I actually want to kind of show you on this page is in the past few months, actually in the past few weeks, we made a change to the site where we actually got rid of the slides that kept moving and adjusting. That was right here in the center section of the website. And so now we just have this central image in which you get to choose from the tabs above it or the buttons below it. That actually is kind of nice because before you could be sitting here and the page moved because of those slides. So the first thing we are actually going to focus on today is actually the boxes that are at the very top. These boxes actually follow you through the site. So if you decide somewhere else within the website that you want to search the catalog or search our free databases, you may. So here with the search the catalog, we about almost 18 months ago actually had a change in our catalog system. And that catalog system is an ever-evolving, ever-growing system. And so with that, there are several things I kind of want to show you that have come up. So one of the first things when you are searching here is our collection. If you have not visited us, I'm hoping that you are planning when you feel more comfortable that you will come and visit us. And so with that, when you are here, our collection is primarily divided up based on states and locations, because that's how we research as genealogical researchers. And so with that, that's how we search. We search by location. So I'm going to search for an example here where I'm going to search for a county, Rowan County in North Carolina. So I'm not going to put the word county, but I'm going to spell out North Carolina, and I'm going to look for the word marriage. And I won't deny you do have to choose between marriage or marriages. You do have to search by the singular spelling, and then you also have to search by the plural spelling. But I can just go ahead and put my search term in, being my county, my state, and the record I'm interested in, which is pretty much how most of us start looking for our genealogy. And so I can go and click find, and the catalog is going to pull up my results. Now, when I am here, I can kind of browse through, and I am going to readily tell you, one of the first things you should do when you are visiting this is when you get the results page, it's the results for all of Allen County, for everything that's in all the branches, as well as the main library and genealogy. We need to make sure we're just getting information that's specific to genealogy. And so just get into the habit of doing this. Go over to the left-hand side of the page and I only want and select your branch, which will be genealogy. Even though genealogy is the only one who has apparently Rowan, North Carolina marriage material, it's a good habit to get into. You'll notice that the actual full title is not showing, but all you have to do is click on the title and you start to get the record. And if you're just quickly wanting to browse through all these titles, you can just click through the results, next result, go to the next one, next result, and continuing on. It doesn't matter about browsing necessarily through the list that first appears. You just need to click on one of the titles and then you can just click through all the titles immediately. When you are here looking at this page, place a hold, add to list, please ignore those. Those are for place a hold is if you're actually going to check out a book, which the genealogy materials do not check out. They are here, able to be used every day that the library is open, which is Sunday through Saturday, except for certain holidays. And it's available for anyone who walks in the door. So ignore that button and add to list. I would recommend not to do that either because you have to have a library card. And here's the thing about add to list. Add to list actually looks like this with just those partial titles. So please just ignore this. So when you're looking at your catalog record, you are told who the author of this particular book is, you're told the subject, and when you scroll down, you are given the branch that's at. So you want to make sure you are looking for material that's in genealogy, and the location in which it has a specific location and then the call number. And we need this entire number as well as the alphanumerics, because that is what you sort of look at as the address for the book on our shelves. So we need all this information. This North Carolina location is wonderful. This is actually something that is new in our catalog because our books are organized based on the states. And so this is basically telling you, you're just going to go to those North Carolina shelves. And so when you're here and you have one of our maps, that's one of our areas. And now at the ends of all of our bookshelves, we have these locations. So North Carolina, World War I, all these different locations or subjects that the books are organized in, those are actually on the ends of the bookshelves. We used to just have the call numbers, and so you had to kind of read through all those numbers. Now, instead of reading through all these numbers at the end of the bookshelf, you just go to the North Carolina shelves because they're actually labeled that way. And then when you're in North Carolina, you look for this address for the book. So that was a wonderful new addition to our catalog, because now you can actually go to those specific shelves and they are labeled in such a manner that you can go to them like that. Another thing is, you'll notice in the subject, there are multiple different subjects that are used to describe this book. But the one that's hyperlinked, so the one that is blue with the line on it, if you click on that, the catalog will actually now pull up all the titles that has Rowan County, North Carolina in the subject. So that way, once you find something you're interested in, you can actually click on that subject category and now search for all the material for this specific county and state that you're interested in to see what we might have here at the Genealogy Center. So that is one of our new improvements for our catalog that we're quite pleased with. With our catalog, I am going to tell you, we do have to close out our search to be able to start a new search. So I'm going to actually click the home button. Oops, that actually took me to the wrong place. Look at that. So I'm going to go back to Genealogy Center. So here in the catalog, I am actually going to next look for a particular index book that is very popular for people in Indiana. It's the Index of Persons and Firms. And instead of writing out the full title of the book, I just do Index Persons Firms and tell it to find that. And so I come up with 97 titles. Once again, just get into the comfortableness of selecting your branch of genealogy. And then I can kind of scroll through if I want to, because I can see the counties. And I can select which one I'm interested in. I could click on that subject once again and just get all the books for Orange County, Indiana. But I actually am going to show you something else that is available in the catalog record. So here we have our catalog record that tells us we have one book in the genealogy department in the Indiana location with this call number for this particular book. That's great. When you come and visit us, you can look at this book. Or you can click on this More Info button and you get the full catalog record. Now, I will readily tell you, I have taken multiple cataloging classes and I am not a cataloger, but you are going to want to click on More Info because as you can see, we get more details than we do initially, including this general note that says, click on web address to reach this document. Well, wait a sec. When I looked at the items, all I got was a call number for the book, that there's a book in the collection. What's this web address? So if I keep scrolling down and whenever you see that note in the general note section towards the top, go almost to the very bottom of the catalog record. It's usually the second from the bottom is a web link. And so there we have a link. Thanks to our partners at Family Search Books, the actual Orange County, Indiana Index of Names of Persons and of Firms is actually all 105 pages is digitized and available to view, where you can just start going through the book yourself at home for free, not needing a library card from us. So this is one of the things about why you should definitely look and click on that More Info tab when you're in our catalog. That way you might discover some of these titles that are no longer in copyright that we have partners who have digitized and made available on our website. Definitely, when you're searching for things, look at the catalog record to make sure if it's available already for you at home. That's not to say we don't want you to come visit us, because we do. We definitely want you to come visit us. Next up, I am actually going to do a search, and I am actually going to go back to the Genealogy Center page. This time, I can narrow my search from the first page on the website. I can choose to search the catalog by a title, an author, subjects. You have to have the exact subject written the exact way it is in the catalog. And so unless you know that, that's why I say find a book and then click on that hyperlink with the subject, and that way it just pulls it all up for you. So I'm going to select title, and I am going to look for Germans to America. Select find. And as you can see here, when I first select this, I get some other titles, even though I put German, oh, I misspelled. Well, there we go. That's the thing about doing this live. Germans to America. We still get some other titles, but because Germans to America is somewhere in the title field, it's popping up. So I'm going to go to my branch, and I am going to select genealogy once again. And then I get a listing for Germans to America by Roger Minor. And that way I can then select the record and, well, get that call number for the book so I can look at it. With the catalog, like I said, you can select on any of these hyperlinks, and it's going to take you to other materials with that particular subject. So German Americans in the subject field came out to 113 results all of a sudden. Another thing I want to show you with our catalog is here I'm going to, once again, not do the full title, but Pictorial History of Fort Wayne. Just do a search, and I get 26 results, and there are a number of copies of this particular book in our catalog. So once again, I'm going to narrow it down by my branch, just get into the rhythm of doing it. And so when I do, and narrow it to genealogy, oops, there we go. So if I were then to kind of scroll through, here I have Fort Wayne Story, a pictorial history. And when I look at the record, all of a sudden in my items, I have all these other branches listed. I then will also notice there are all these different call numbers listed. So all these different addresses. Make sure you are looking for genealogy as your branch, and that you are noting the location for genealogy, because books that are in other branches might have a different number than what we do in genealogy. And so you want to make sure you get our particular number to find something when you are visiting us. When looking at some of these records, you'll notice they always have like these little book icons. But as you saw earlier, there was a book that I had to go and click on more info to find the link. But for some of our free databases that we have, those are cataloged in our catalog as well. And those are indicated with these links. These are the items that are in our free databases. So here we have the Fort Wayne Philharmonic Orchestra scrapbooks. And this is in our free databases, but it's been cataloged and put into our catalog for you to find. And so when here, it is telling you the location. There is not a physical book. It's online. So it's telling you to click on More Info tab. And so we actually have to go once again towards the bottom of the page. And it takes us to the digital collection, where here we have 19 volumes of these scrapbooks. So this is just to show you that you definitely want to click on that More Info tab. You want to see what else there is pertaining to this particular book that you're interested in. Now, when you are on our homepage, you have the catalog, or you can search the free databases. And so you could search for a surname. That is the thing to keep in mind with the free databases. Just search for a surname. That is the only way the search works. And click search. And it will actually tell you and provide you the link to the different types of databases that has that surname. If you do not have family in Allen County, you can scroll down further and see what else we might have. Other Indiana, we do have other states. We have family resources, which are family books that people have given to us, family Bible records, and military material. And so these hyperlinks take you to the actual database that has that name, and you see the result numbers immediately without going into the databases, because that can be a whole program unto itself. Continuing on with our page, if you are nervous about visiting us here at the Genealogy Center, you can learn about the COVID-19 protocols. You can also see our video about the Genealogy Center and what we are doing here to help you feel as safe as possible while visiting us. Otherwise, you can always email us if you have questions immediately off of the first page on the Genealogy Center website. Looking at the tabs at the top of our page, we have the link to the Allen County Public Library. We also have under Explore Genealogy, our resources, Family History Archive, our services, and Plan Your Visit. If you will notice, those are actually the titles of the buttons that are immediately below the picture. So you can just click on Explore Genealogy and get access to those as well. Otherwise, we have some links to some prominent collections digitally that we have available. We also have information about who we are. We have our brochure that tells you a little bit more about our collection. We have some tutorial videos. These are not the videos like what we're doing right now with teaching you something about genealogy. These are videos about the collection that are sort of introductory about starting your research and coming to the library. You can always email us, call us, and our hours, keep an eye on this. We recently changed our hours. And so we are now open Monday through Thursday, 10 a.m. to 8 p.m., Friday and Saturday, 10 a.m. to 6 p.m., and Sunday noon to 5. And of course, on the left-hand side is our genealogy events where you can register for all of our programs. Under Explore Genealogy, if you go to our resources, the page that comes up talks about the databases we have access to. And that's one of the great things here at the Genealogy Center. We have subscribed to a number of licensed databases. These are called on-site because they are ones you physically have to be on site at an ACPL location to use them. But for those of you who are interested in using one of these websites, you can come and visit us and have full access to these databases. But these are ones you physically have to be on site at one of the ACPL locations. Our free databases, which are the items that you can search under the Search Our Free Databases box, include various different collections and databases that have been created here at the Genealogy Center thanks to wonderful researchers such as yourself who have either donated or loaned us their personal family papers, documents, their actual written histories, photographs, and so forth, or organizations, different societies who have loaned us or donated materials for us to add to these collections. So you can do the search from the search box, or you can actually go into each of these different databases. And you might be going, well, should I? I mean, you probably just primarily have Indiana. Well, we have other states, and just to kind of give you an idea really quick, just to kind of scroll down and show you, we have other states, and we have more than 5 million items available on the free databases section for free. 5 million. So definitely want to consider monthly checking out the free databases, because those are ones you can access at home at any time. Also, under Explore Genealogy is the Family History Archives. This is actually where our partners, such as Family History Books, Internet Archive, FamilySearch.org, and WeRelate.org, as well as the site Wikipedia that has genealogical resources. These are links to those particular products that you can access for free. Just as an example, so you're aware of what I mean by this. So you saw in the catalog, I looked up that particular book and it linked directly to Family History Books, and it had the entire book available. Internet Archive, well, you know, the census records that sometimes people may not want to go to Ancestry, but they have like the actual citation for a census record. They're on Internet Archive. If you have the citation, you can go to them, 1920, you know, Massachusetts census, and you can go through as if you're going through the microfilm, all for free, thanks to our business partners, Family History Archives, that are listed here. Our services that we offer to you as genealogists is hopefully ones you are definitely taking advantage of. To begin with, ask us questions. We're genealogy librarians. We want to help you. So you can send us an email asking questions. You can also do, oops, that didn't work. Look at that. Our forms. We have another section I'll show you in a moment for those. But I would recommend, even before you look at the forms, just shoot us an email. If you really need to use a form, we'll tell you. But emailing us sometimes is just easier. You can contact us about doing genealogy center tours. We do them for people, groups, and so forth. Here's the thing. You might say, well, do I really need a tour? We are a facility that's 42,000 square feet. That is roughly the size of a football field. That is what you get to walk around and research in. We consist of 5 different rooms that are interconnected. And so for some people, it can be a bit overwhelming. So the tours are to try to help you feel more comfortable. And if you are bringing a larger group, letting us know in advance, we will make sure we have the staff available who can help your group. And we can do tours for like 20 minutes, giving you sort of a quick tour, up to an hour, to kind of make sure your group feels very comfortable. Just contact us by letting us know. And if you're saying, well, I'm not sure, well, just so you know, I know of at least 2 genealogical societies who will be visiting us in June, who have already made arrangements to come and visit us. And with our facility, we still have the furniture arranged for social distancing, because did I mention 42,000 square feet? We can accommodate your group. We also offer consultations. Now, consultations does not mean we are going to do your entire genealogical research and provide it to you in a book and all the records like they do on all the TV shows about doing genealogy. But what it does mean is you can have one-on-one time with someone who actually has experience in whatever your brick wall, your question is. And even if you're new and you're just wanting someone to say you're on the right path, we have had people do consultations just for that. Perfectly fine, just to make sure that you are going on the right path. So you can call us or email us to arrange those appointments. We actually prefer an email because we'd like for you to tell us what you're actually searching for, details about it, people, places, dates, as well as where you might have already looked, because we don't want to repeat what you've done. And so if you're interested in DNA, we have a DNA expert. We're going to link you up with her. You're interested in German? We have a German expert. We're going to link you up with him. You're interested in Irish? We have an Irish expert. We're going to link you up with her. You're interested in African American? We have an expert. We're going to link you up. That's why we ask questions and want details, because we want to make sure when you have that 30 minutes one-on-one with the librarian who's gone over your stuff before you ever arrive and is prepared to sit and go over information with you, we want you to be getting the person who isn't just a librarian, but is someone who knows in depth on the thing that you're seeking and knows in depth on genealogy. We also have our forms here. Like I said, before doing any of these forms, just email us your question. We'll tell you if you actually need to do a form. If you're wanting to hire our research center to actually do in-depth research for you, then we would recommend the research form for you to provide details for that in-depth research. We have orientation videos, why you should come visit us, and so forth, and some home videos about things that you have at home that you should look at before you ever visit us, things you should consider when you're first starting your research, and so forth. And so these videos are videos for you to view, and they're free. Another thing is plan your visit. For plan your visit, once again, we have our hours. So if they change, they'll be available here for you, as well as the link to our catalog. And then once again, our address and contact information. If you are interested in learning more about Fort Wayne, we have a fabulous Visitors Bureau, Visit Fort Wayne, where they actually have a page dedicated to genealogy researchers. You gotta love it. And so with that page, they have information about what they have to offer for genealogists visiting here. And they even have a form where you can discuss planning your visit and arranging for consultation and so forth, and getting more data and information about the Genealogy Center. We just adore our visitor center. You can also view the library map to get yourself acclimated, because Genealogy Center is located on the second floor of the main library. The main library pretty much encompasses 2 city blocks. And as you can see, the Genealogy Center pretty much covers the majority of the one side of the building. If you're wanting to know about parking information, there's detail available here. And if you're feeling comfortable with it, information about restaurants. And yes, some of our staff do offer their ideas on different restaurants for you to consider locally. Next up, we've already done Explore Genealogy. We're going to take a look at the Genealogy Community. So the Genealogy Community is basically a place for you to connect with other genealogists and connect with us here at the Genealogy Center. If you want to know more about our genealogy librarians, like I said, we are not just librarians. We are genealogists. Every one of us came here to the Genealogy Center because of our passion and the fact that we have already been that first beginner genealogist walking into the library. We have experienced what you experienced the first time you come into a genealogy library. And so because we do genealogy research ourselves, we understand what your actual needs are when you're visiting us. So different details about us and our specialties are all available. And yes, we include our photos so you recognize us. And so all of us are listed here for the genealogy staff for the genealogy librarians. Our Ask a Genealogy Librarian form, if you want to fill out the form to ask us questions. Genealogy Gems. This is our newsletter that we send out at the end of the month. It's once a month. You can subscribe to it and receive it. We always talk about things going on in the genealogical community, what's going on here at the Genealogy Center, as well as kind of highlighting either materials that are new to the center or materials we think you might be interested in, as well as digital materials that might be out there in the genealogical community that you might be wanting. We offer different things like little history tidbits or funny periodical titles, as well as letting you know about upcoming programs and other details. Former editions of Genealogy Gems is available for you to look at. And we do hold the current year's subscription. You have to be a subscriber to view the current year. And so in 2022, we will post the 2021 editions of the Genealogy Gems. Also in the genealogy community, we are on social media. You can reach out to us on Facebook. Periodically on Facebook, we will post Brick Wall Question Day or Brick Wall Week, where we have you send us your brick wall questions, and we go back and forth with you and find you information. Instagram, oh my, our Instagram is just, it's amazing. Not only is it about different digital items in our collection, so you can kind of get a really broad overview of history, but you also get some stuff that's personal to us, where we post things pertaining to our families, so that way, well, you can see we truly are, well, just like you with our genealogy. Also under Genealogy Community, we're on Twitter, and then there's our YouTube page. Our YouTube page is where we are posting all of the programs that we are recording, that we are making available virtually. We have been posting here on our YouTube page. And so you can currently, as you can see, we have 70 videos currently available for you to watch for free. And it is a wide range of possible programs. So this is another place when you're interested in looking for more information on how to do something pertaining to genealogy, check out our YouTube page, because we might have done a program on it already. Next tab is our life stories, because we here at the Genealogy Center believe firmly everybody has a story, and you should be telling your story, because if you don't, someone else will. And so with that, we want to hear your story. So we actually have recording equipment here when you're here at the Allen County Public Library that you can actually use to record your story. You can give us permission to post it on our site. And so we have a number of different interviews that are available. And so most of them are audio. There are some where people requested videos, but primarily these are audios.
Today is August 12th, 2019. I am Melody Seeberger, and I am interviewing Katie Bloom. So let's start at the beginning. When and where were you born?
I was born on the 22nd day of August, 1929.
So we have these interviews. We also, if you're interested in considering doing them, we have a lot of different questions from a number of sites for you to consider, because the thing is, you don't have to start at the beginning with where someone was born. Think about it. We spend majority of our time at our jobs. You can just start talking about what interested you in this particular job that you had, and kind of get it going from there. Someone in the military, asking them questions, asking someone about their first day at school. There are all kinds of different questions. And so these questions guide you different ideas of what else you could possibly consider, as well as we have a link here for things about doing tribute videos as well, if you are interested. You don't have to use our equipment. You could just submit a recording you have done already, or the recording you do in the future. and let us add it to our life stories. Because like I said, everyone has a story to share. Next up is our Pathfinders. So our Pathfinders, sort of think of them as guides of a sort. So the ones that are over here on the right-hand side are more specific to Fort Wayne and Allen County. So if you're doing research, we pulled out the listing of things pertaining to the books we have on births or churches or pertaining to the plat maps and photographers, because those were common questions locally. And so this is to provide guides to the collection on those topics. But then over here on the left, we have what we call snapshots. And the reason it has that name is we want you to be aware that these are just giving you a little taste of what we have. It is not an all-encompassing list because that's what the catalog is for. But this is to kind of give you an idea, because when you're physically here, you can have a snapshot for your particular interest, and that way you can know exactly which shelves to go to without ever touching a catalog. So they are divided up where you can go through and see a listing of materials for different states. So we'll just select Michigan. It starts off with giving you the basic research guides for Michigan. So you can see the numbers, the call numbers, or the address for the books. If you're looking for books particularly having to do with biographical information, gives you those numbers, census numbers, courts. Now notice, here's the thing, this is for just the state of Michigan. It's not specific to counties. So see, that's the thing. You would have to then look in the county section, but this is getting you into those particular call numbers. Here we have military, because even though most of the material is broken down by location, military is its own subject. And so it's giving you an idea of if you were looking for Mexican War material, it's giving you the call number for Mexican War, and then you could go to this specific book, and the books surrounding you are Michigan and the Mexican War. Same thing, the next one. This is the number here, the 940.410 is the number for World War I. And then it's giving you the next alphanumeric for Michigan. And so that way you go to the shelves and you're interested in World War I, here are all the books pertaining to Michigan in that particular war. So as you can see, when you're looking, most of these numbers start to look the same because we have organized our collections here in the Genealogy Center, where this 977.4, that's specific to the state. And so all the Michigan books primarily are going to have that as the beginning of their number. And then if it happens to be something like the periodical here for the Detroit Society for Genealogical Research magazine, we have a 02 after it and the letter D. Well, that 02 means it's a Michigan town or Michigan city. D, well, it's a Michigan town or city that starts with the letter D, Detroit. And so this starts to get you just in that area. You know 977.4 is the number for Michigan. And that way you can go to the shelves. And then, well, we firmly believe in serendipity in this department because we have seen it happen a lot. So just consider that to prepare for a trip here, you might want to consider looking at these snapshots. We also have snapshots for different subjects. So if you were looking for things specific to African American, DNA, other ethnic groups such as German, Germanic, the Yes Core books for Jewish genealogy, Quaker, you can select these and you're going to get a listing, once again, starting with research guides and starting to branch out. And it's going to be specific to these particular subjects. And this is just to get you in the right area when you're visiting us. Other Pathfinders include our international collection because we are very fortunate. Our collection is the United States and we branch out to other countries. And so once again, it's just a snapshot of what we have. Remember, we use the word snapshot because it's just a picture of what we have. It is not everything that we have for that particular subject, just a picture of what we have. So the next tab at the top that we're going to look at is the donations tab. And you might be going, oh boy, of course, they're going to end with talking about donations. But there's a variety of donations. Yes, if you want to provide funds, I'm not going to say no. We do have an endowment fund that pays for items in our collection as well as programs. But also, you can share your genealogical research. Remember, I mentioned at the beginning about our free databases, where we have more than 5 million items available in that section right now. And it's because of this, sharing your research. This is either an organization, it's just an individual who's been researching their family, an individual who's interested in a certain location or certain ethnic groups. So they've been doing different kinds of research. People who are interested in Polish genealogy and happen to do indexing of the Polish newspapers. Those kinds of things we've had donated to us. Things pertaining to learning about those in a certain county who served in the military, served in a specific war, and little snippets about the individuals. We've had people donate that. So much information that's out there, as well as family histories. So as you can see from the listing here, we have people who send us images of military veterans that are in their family. People who send us, well, record group information, family record pages from their family Bibles, just all kinds of things. And so you can either mail it to us or you can actually send it to us electronically. And so that is a big part of our collection and sharing your research. People ask how Allen County became what it did. It's through the generosity of one, Allen County residents fully supporting our amazing library, but also it's also because of researchers such as yourself and people who've donated research materials and collections. Because we are just one part of the Allen County Public Library. We have our little tiny piece of the book budget for the library system. And it's a tiny piece, just our piece that goes along with all the other departments. And then we have wonderful researchers such as yourselves. And that is how we have acquired the collection we have. We currently have more than 1.2 million physical items in our collection. And now with the digital materials, we have been exploring and exploding in that fashion with the digital materials. Because like I said, more than 5 million items on the digital free databases. We have found with the free databases that it's one, protective of the material because the material is not being damaged by touch. It's not being damaged by constant use. It's not going to be damaged by something that could actually happen, such as a tornado or a fire or flooding. As much as we want to say that never happens, it happens. Because of digital, it's actually available for people, and the redundancy of backups of the server content. So it's available for researchers all over the country, all over the world. And then on top of that, it's protected because there are multiple copies in the fact of the redundancy of the backups of the digital content. Whereas the one lone book on the shelf can be easily damaged. Or you can volunteer your time. We are always seeking volunteers for the Genealogy Center because we are always wanting to add to our collection. People ask, how much staff do you have dedicated to your digital projects? We have 0 full-time employees dedicated to our digital projects. It is through the wondrous giving of donated time from volunteers. There's so much that gets accomplished thanks to our volunteers. So that is another way to donate to the library. So I hope I didn't scare you away with that talk of donations, but here at the Genealogy Center, we feel we have so much to offer. We have a fabulous collection, whether it's the physical collection here, the on-site databases that we have actually paid the licenses to be able to have access to when you're here, as well as now that digital material that we have available for free in our free databases, the 5 million items that are available there. So we have an amazing collection, but that collection means nothing if it wasn't for the researchers who are using it. And so the next thing we feel we have to offer to you is the subject expertise, the knowledge, and the willingness to share that of our staff. The fact that our staff does the consultations, does these programs. And of course, when you come in and visit us, the fact that our staff connects with people and helps people on the floor with their research. You can walk in any day, as I said, open Sunday through Saturday, and you can have any one of us assist you with your family history. And as each of us who are here today on this program, I'm sure each of us are doing fabulous research on our families and yet still need guidance just in talking out our ideas. And that's what we're here for at the Genealogy Center, to help you with giving you suggestions, giving you recommendations of where else to search, as well as just reconfirming if you're on the right path and offering the programs, the e-zine, the different social media contacts to be able to offer, even for those of you who can't visit us physically, to share the knowledge and expertise of our staff.